President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has hired a lobbyist in the United States to help convince lawmakers and policy makers that he carries acceptable personal probity to lead Nigeria after suffering a reputational hit that followed reports of his involvement in illicit drug peddling and certificate fraud. Bola Ahmed Tinubu engaged a public relations expert, including David Spalding of Linapep Lega, based in a sleepy Philadelphia suburb, to help his administration navigate Washington's concern about his unsavory public figure. The president deemed the hiring necessary after evaluating the impact widespread coverage of his narcotic and certificate saga had on his prestige before his foreign counterpart. An official at the Justice Ministry said that the president feels that the bad stories are impeding his ability to govern. The statement in quote read, "Look, some of us know they look down on him like a pariah, which is unfair. You can see the president taking pictures with world leaders, but no one answer his calls to discuss social and economic issues affecting Nigeria, which is what he actually needs," the official added. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has attended summit of global leaders in France, Brazil, and Saudi Arabia, among others, but those invitations were largely statutory for Nigeria as Africa's most populous country. What Bola Ahmed Tinubu is seeking for is not just to be invited into a global summit because Nigeria is the largest economy in the world, but that he should be given a special foreign policy concession, similar to how Nigeria scored big under former President Olusegun Obasanjo and Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. Not only is Bola Ahmed Tinubu facing a battered image internationally, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is equally facing a legitimate issue. The 2023 election is one that has been adjudged to be one of the worst elections conducted in the history of this country. The election was not transparent. The election did not reflect the will and aspiration of the people. It's an election that was filled with too many controversies. As a matter of fact, Bola Ahmed Tinubu emerging as the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria did not reflect the wider will and aspiration of majority of Nigerians. Aside challenging the Tinubu legitimacy in court, Tinubu is not the choice of majority of Nigerians, so he has been facing legitimate issue. At the beginning of Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, he was caught in a crossfire when Niger was overtaken by military junta. There was a military coup in Niger Republic, and France and other Western power were not happy with what is happening in Niger Republic. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as the chairman of the ECOWAS, was tasked with the responsibility of ensuring that the military junta in Niger come to an end. Bola Ahmed Tinubu took it personally to ensure that he imposed some restriction on Niger Republic. That restriction imposed on Niger Republic almost culminated to a war between Nigeria and Niger Republic. His action further led to the disintegration of ECOWAS as Niger Republic, Mali, Burkina Faso split out of ECOWAS to form the Sahel organization. It was obvious that the step taken by Bola Ahmed Tinubu towards Niger Republic was prepared by international influence. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was under the influence of the Western power because he was a person of interest. Remember, just like we read, prior to the election in 2023, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was facing too many controversies, from his narcotic drug dealing in the United States of America to his Chicago State University certificate forgery. He was doing everything possible to please the Western power. As a matter of fact, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was somehow in the good book of the United States government led by Joe Biden, and he openly supported them. But the victory of Donald Trump at the poll is a somehow heavy blow on Bola Ahmed Tinubu government, because as a matter of fact, Donald Trump is nowhere going to be supporting the government of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. That is the reason Bola Ahmed Tinubu is doing everything possible to please the United States lawmakers, and he's trying to do that by employing a lobbyist to salvage his battered international reputation. We warned the people that were supporting Bola Ahmed Tinubu for president in 2023. We warned them of the implication of voting someone with too many controversies. The controversy surrounding Bola Ahmed Tinubu has wider implication on Nigeria. Under President Olusegun Obasanjo, under Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, Nigeria commands so much respect in the Committee of Nations. Nigeria was invited into global summit not because of our largest population or largest economy in Africa, but because of the towering figure of these prominent leaders, especially someone like Olusegun Obasanjo. President Olusegun Obasanjo and Goodluck Ebele Jonathan leveraged on their international goodwill to secure foreign investment into Nigeria. But that is not so with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has been unable to attract foreign direct investment into the country. Don't even tell me about France or Germany who has promised to invest in Nigeria. You all know that that is a shady promise or investment that is coming into Nigeria. Of course, that of France has been busted because there are alleged news that France has agreed to invest in Nigeria because France military will have their military base in Nigeria. You know there are consequences to that. Remember, the Sahel region of Francophone country, they are chasing away France military out of their region, but Nigeria is giving France military an open hand to come and site their base in Nigeria. This comes with a lot of consequences, but of course Bola Ahmed Tinubu does not care about the consequences and the implication such move will have in Nigeria, as long as he is seen as someone that is attracting foreign direct investment into the country from countries like France and Germany. He did not even dare the consequences when he wanted to go into war with Niger Republic. The implication of Bola Ahmed Tinubu damaged international standing extend beyond diplomacy. It has wider implication on Nigeria economy. Since Tinubu inauguration in May 2023, the Nigeria economy has plummeted, with our GDP shrinking and inflation soaring at its all-time high. This decline has been compounded by his reliance on a cabinet filled with controversial figures such as Atiku Bagudu, implicated in laundering billions of dollars under Sani Abacha's regime, and Nyesom Wike, whose questionable leadership of key ministries has further undermined public trust. Foreign investors are wary of Nigeria's governance and legal framework, and they've shied away from engaging with Nigeria. This has led to capital flight and the withdrawal of major companies, leaving millions of Nigerians grappling with unemployment and poverty. In the midst of all of this, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's domestic policies have done little to alleviate these challenges. As a matter of fact, it is being argued that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is sampling IMF and World Bank system of economics in Nigeria, which is not going to help the Nigerian people and the Nigerian economy. Such reform of Bola Ahmed Tinubu include the removal of fuel subsidy and tax increment. These policies have affected the poor and the middle class and has led to widespread hunger and poverty in Nigeria. Due to the widespread hunger, hardship and poverty under Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, Nigerians have a perception of incompetence within Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime, and this has further alienated the Nigerian populace, many of whom see his government as a continuation of the status quo rather than a beacon of hope. Instead of addressing the issue on ground, instead of facing the domestic issue and improving the economy, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is spending $2.2 million to go and whitewash his international battered image. Whitewashing his international battered image will not salvage the battered economy we have in this country. It will not reduce inflation. It will not reduce the fuel hike. It will not solve our insecurity problem. It will not improve the purchasing power of the people. It will not make life better for Nigerians. What will make life better for Nigerians is when Bola Ahmed Tinubu put in the work to do the right thing to improve the economy that he has destroyed. The question on everyone's lips is, can Nigeria overcome the challenges posed by Bola Ahmed Tinubu's tarnished image? The answer lies in his bold and transparent leadership. One of the issues that Nigerians are facing under Bola Ahmed Tinubu's leadership is lack of transparency and accountability. Bola Ahmed Tinubu seems to be running a government that is obscure. The people are not aware of what is going on in the government. For instance, the proceeds to remove from the fuel subsidy, nobody has given account of what has been gotten so far. Nobody has given account of what the money has been used so far. Nobody knows how much has been saved, but rather the government keeps telling the people you need to sacrifice today to enjoy tomorrow. Nigerians do not even know what we are sacrificing for. Nigerians do not even know where and how the money that has been recovered has been spent so far. That is the obscurity that has been been going on under Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration, Tinubu must take immediate steps to rebuild trust, both home and abroad. Now, this includes purging his cabinet of corrupt and controversial figures. There are ministers who have been indicted for corrupt cases still hovering around in Tinubu's cabinet. Tinubu is not the first president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We have seen how presidents like Goodluck Ebele Jonathan and Olusegun Obasanjo govern with open transparency, govern with accountability, but that has been eroded ever since APC and Bola Ahmed Tinubu took over power. The first image that Bola Ahmed Tinubu needs to redeem of himself is to gain trust at home, not by paying over 2 million naira to a foreigner in order to whitewash his image. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video.